All right. So for those of you that need a little bit of help on this and guidance, I want to go through each of these three different type treatments, so this way you can use it for reference. For the first one, the main thing that we're trying to do is end up having a stroke that sits on the outside of the text while keeping everything open. So this way, if you need to put it against a background, it comes through. So you're not having any white edges to your type treatment. All right. So to start, the first thing you're going to do with anything is going to convert everything to an outline. So Command Shift O converts your text to an outline. Now we want to get the distance away from the edge of the type to the outside over here. All right. So we're going to hit Command C to copy, Command B to paste behind, and then we're going to add a stroke and push it away. All right. So you end up having it a safe distance that you want. Once you have that all set, you're going to go to Object and go to Expand Appearance, go to Object and Expand. There are times that you will go right to Expand, all right? Both of these do similar things. They do different things, but ultimately you're trying to get to Expand. So there are times that you have to hit Expand Appearance before you can get to Expand. We hit this, make sure we have Fill and Stroke, hit OK. Now we go over to our Pathfinder, and your Pathfinder is going to be underneath Window and Pathfinder. So now we're going to hit Unite, and now see these little inside elements, right? If you want to get rid of them, like you can see that none of them are inside here, the easiest way to do that is to hit Divide and then Unite again, and now they're gone. All right. So now we want to add a stroke to the outside of this. So we're going to flip this. So now we have a stroke and no fill. We're going to go to our stroke and we're going to increase it a little bit. All right. I also want to make sure it goes to the outside because I want to keep everything away from what I just did. Once you have that all set, same thing that we did before. We're going to go to Object, Expand Appearance, and sometimes that does it for you automatically, right? So Object, Expand, and then you're all set. Okay. Now we want to unite these. So we're going to select both of this, the stroke and the text, and hit Unite, and now it's all one. If we try and do a mask on this, what's going to happen is you're going to select everything and hit Command 7. Nothing happens. It's still there, but it's just not going to give you the mask that you want, because what's happening is you have multiple elements here, and you need to tell Illustrator, I want all of this to be seen as one. Hitting the Pathfinder and having everything unite is not good enough. So what you're going to do is you're going to select this, you're going to go to Object, Compound Path, and Make. Anytime that you try and create a mask with a complex shape and it doesn't work for you, this should solve that problem. Hit Make. Now we bring this back in, we select this, Command 7, and you're all set to go. All right. All right, next one. We have our text, Command Shift O to convert to an outline, Command Shift G to ungroup, and then you can arrange these however you like. All right, so I want this to kind of sit like so. Then I want the M to kind of come through like that. Then I want the E to sit like this. And then I want the S to kind of go up and over the E. Like this. All right, so now we have the J. I want this to kind of go through, I think. Yeah, I want to do that. All right, so now what it is, you're trying to, again, create a complicated overlapping of elements that go in and out of one another. All right, you have to isolate parts of what you're trying to do, and you have to know what it is that you're trying to do. All right, I want the J to go in front of the A over here, and then have it go behind the A here. So it looks like it's shooting through the A. So I'm going to move this up a little bit to give a little bit more room. All right. Let me do this. Okay. So first thing, we have to add strokes, just like what we did here. So we're going to hit Command C to copy, Command B to paste behind, add a stroke, And then you want to go as far as you can until it closes off this, right? So all of these elements, you kind of want to make sure that you're not going too far. If we end up going too far, then it's just going to cut everything off. Remember what value you use up here. All right, so I'm going to use a 15. That's something I'm going to remember for later. All right, I'm going to hit Object and Expand and hit OK. So now this is all one. I'm going to hit Unite. And then what I want to do is I only, again, want this. I don't want this. So I'm going to use my circle. I'm going to hover over what I don't want. I want to ungroup this because I don't want to deal with the dot. And then I'm going to minus front so that way I have just this part left. All right. So there we go. Now I can select this, select the A, and hit minus front. And now the J is going through, and now it's right here. Okay. Now I got to do this part. So I'm going to bring the A to the foreground. I'm going to hit Command C to copy, Command B to paste behind. I'm going to add my stroke. It was a 15 that I used. Then I'm going to go to Object, go to Expand, hit OK. I'm going to Unite. Now again, I only want this part. All right. So I'm going to select all this because I don't want any of that. And then I'm going to minus front. And then I'll select the J. This is going to be a problem. Command-Shift-G to ungroup. All right, so let's see what happens if I hit minus front here. It's fine. Okay. So sometimes if you start cutting into a letter, so the next time if I have to do this, I got to ungroup. So this way, this is now separate. All right. All right. So now I got the M. So now I want the M to go, let's see. I want this to go in front of here, go under, and then in front. So I need to have this part and this part to be in front of everything. So I'm going to bring it to the front. Command C to copy. Command B to paste behind. Add a stroke. Go back to 15. Go to Object. Go to Expand. Hit OK. Unite everything. And I just want to get rid of this part because all I want is this part and this part. So I'll do this. Hit minus front. I'm going to ungroup because I don't need this piece. And now I can select this, M, and select the A, and then minus front. So now you can see it goes through that part of the A. I'm going to ungroup because now the A is multiple pieces. Once it starts cutting up into multiple pieces, you have to ungroup because if you don't, and you try and do any of this Pathfinder, it's going to cause an issue for you. Now I want to bring this to the front because I want this to be in front of the M. Command C, Command B, 15 points. I'm going to expand, hit OK. I'm going to hit Unite. And now see how it's kind of over this? I would still get rid of those pieces because you don't want those interfering with the M. So I can select these two, then select the back, minus front. And now I can select the M. I don't want that to interfere. Actually, do I? No, I don't. So I'm going to get rid of that anchor point. And now I can select the M and minus front. Ungroup. So now you can see the M looks like it's going through and then back up and through. All right. The E is going to be kind of boring with what it's going to do. Maybe I just have the E in front. So I'm going to bring it to the foreground. Command C to copy. Command B to paste behind. Add a stroke. Make it 15. I'm going to expand. Unite. And then simply just minus front. Oop, not that one. This one. Okay. Now the last one, the S. So I want this to go in front and then go in behind. So I'm going to bring it to the foreground. Command C to copy. Command B to paste behind. Add the stroke. Go to 15. Now see how it's not showing the whole thing? That's when I would select both of these, the stroke and the regular S, and then I move it up until I see a little bit of that white. All right, so now I have to expand the stroke here, unite, and then I only want this part. So I'm going to delete this part. And then I can select the E and minus front. And then I'll ungroup. Last part. So now bring this to the front, Command C, Command B, add a stroke, make it 15. Object, expand, unite. And again, it's going to kind of cut in a little bit over here. So I'm going to go right to the edge just to remove that part. Minus front. And now, select this part of the S. And there we go. So, we now have, man, that looks terrible. But we now have all of these letters kind of going, intertwining one another. And if we have to put it over an image or over some sort of color, everything is knocked out. All right. All right, last one. Okay, so the whole point of this one is creating masks. All right, so this one created a mask, but this one here is going to create a mask and then shift it to kind of give it like a three-dimensional piece and then kind of filling in the stroke and moving everything. All right, so we're going to convert to outline. And the first thing we're going to do is add in a stroke on top. So Command C, Command F, and then I'm going to get rid of my fill, and then I'm going to add my stroke, and then I'm going to increase it, say, to there. Okay, so now we have this. Now, what I need to do is add a shadow, right? Because I want to have this darker shadow behind it. So what I'll do is I will use this stroke again, Command C, Command B. I'm going to use this eyedrop to pick up this blue, right? So you can see that I no longer have any stroke. I'm going to move this to the stroke color so there's no fill. I'm going to increase this a bit, and then I'm going to darken up the color, all right? So you can go a little bit further to where you want it to be. What you can do is you can use your arrow keys and just move down to the left. So now it looks like you can see it's starting to go downward. So the shadow is as if the light source is coming up this way and it's pushing it in. All right. Now what we need to do is add a mask. All right. So with the background selected, right, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to hide this for a moment. So this way I can just see this right here. Command F to paste in front. And then I'm going to select both of these and hit Command 7. Now remember what I said before, right? If you make a mask and nothing shows up, that means you need to create a compound path. So Command Z. I'm going to select my outside piece that I want to make the mask from. Go to Object, go down to Compound Path, hit Make. And now, before it didn't disappear, sometimes it completely disappears on you. So you can see there's no fill, no stroke. All right. So I'm going to bring this back as like a fill color, just so this way I can see where it is. I'm going to select the background stroke shadow and hit Command 7. So now I have this stroke inside that mask. So I have the background piece that's sitting by itself, and then I have the stroke piece that's inside a mask. All right, so now I can bring back my silver stroke that's on the top. So Command Shift 3, bring that back to the front. All right, so the last part for this is adding the background dark color and then shifting it down to kind of give it a little bit of depth. So I'm going to use a stroke again, copy. Then I'm going to select everything, hit Command B, so it's the very last layer in this. I'm going to make it even darker. I am going to increase the size of this to something obnoxious. I'm going to use my arrow keys again to move it down. And there you go. That's how you would create a very quick three-dimensional type treatment using just strictly 4 layers of text. All right, so hopefully this helps anyone that was in need of some guidance, or had some questions on how to do this. But again, you have until Monday to wrap this up. And yeah, good luck. Have a great weekend, everyone.